Hello and welcome again to another video by Econo Insight. This video will cover about what is meant by seasonally adjusted GDP. So first, I want to give an overview that when reading GDP statistics or certain graphs, certain line graphs, you normally see at the bottom that the chart is all seasonally adjusted. So what does that little thing saying seasonally adjusted actually mean? Before I explain that, I would like to explain that there is what you call as quarterly performance of GDP. Economists in the news everywhere you go will sometimes quantify and see what's measuring what is the difference between quarter per quarter in the year in the GDP. So the GDP can be divided into 4 quarters: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Each quarter are 3 months, right? And you want to see what is happening in this quarter and is there significant changes? What is behind those changes? So all those sort of things. But note that there are seasonal fluctuations, which is very important. Seasonal fluctuations in the GDP. So naturally, the GDP over the seasons, over the course of the year, has certain fluctuations. So let me give you an example. Maybe during winter, let's say, the agricultural output decreases because it's hard to yield crops naturally. Or in certain seasons, people prefer certain types of food in certain seasons, so that food industry then will rise up and maybe another won't be performing as well. So there are actually natural seasonal fluctuations in the GDP over the course of the year. So however, when economists study quarterly performance, they want to omit seasonal fluctuations. I'm going to write this. Omit seasonal fluctuations. And why is this? Because they want to look further from simply seasonal fluctuation. They want to know, is there really a difference in the natural course of the economy? Is there an improvement at the grade, for example, it performs worse? So they want to see they want to see further. So by omitting seasonal fluctuations, this allows you to look further. That's the point. So sometimes seasonal fluctuations are relatively large. For example, in the U.S., from the first quarter, for the first quarter to the fourth quarter, it's about 8% in seasonal fluctuations. So you can see that seasonal fluctuations could really distort one's analysis. And that is why we come to this concept of seasonally adjusted GDP. So seasonally adjusted GDP is when the data is omits seasonal fluctuations. It's maybe some of you might ask, how do we do that? Well, that's kind of complex. But for this video, we'll just need to learn what it means. So I'm just gonna give you, I'm gonna exhibit an example here. Let's say I got a graph from the OECD depicting gross domestic product, the change since the fourth quarter. The data does not matter here, but what I want to say to you that in measuring this quarter performance, quarter 4 to quarter 1, let's say, these are the data. There is this bit here called seasonally adjusted data, and this is what I'm talking about. See, so this data is all seasonally adjusted. So yeah, so now economists can see what is going on further. That's a very key point to remember. So I hope this video helps, and I know now you know what it means by the little thing lying in the bottom or on top of a certain statistic, which claims that it's a seasonally adjusted GDP. And thank you for watching, and I hope it helps.